the Constitution said that you have freedom of expression, but not freedom of speech.
So,
Wow.
so this man is reminding us that if it was left up to, and he didn't just, if it was left up to Mr. Hinkson, we would not even be able to have this show tonight to speak to you in St. James North.
That's right.
Basically, and then on top of that, did you remember he spoke very loudly to let all the adjudicators in the US hear that we were being the civil society from Barbados was being sponsored by right-wing organizations. You remember that? That was the allegation that they came back and said Mr. Hinkson spoke loudly for the adjudicators to hear in America. And if that is what he said, if it's what he said, he actually lied on the people of Barbados.
But Mr. Hinkson is not anywhere near the type of person. He's well met. He has a lot of flaws. I mean, he's a past in a way, but he's still present because his work remains. But so he's not the hero or near hero that he's supposed to be. And as he speaks, it's coming out more and more. I just wish more and more people have spoken about it more often about earlier.
Well, go ahead, Dave. Thank you.
So I urge you, St. James North, next Wednesday, from the government that cares. Now, if this is what care looks like. So I urge you, St. James North, next Wednesday, come out and vote. Your vote will make a difference. Every vote counts. 1-1 here, 1-1 there. I'm not going to repeat a statement that is often said, 1-1 blow. But your 1-1 vote will count. Your 1-1 vote will show the Barbados Labour Party that they, nor any party for that matter, owns you or any of the people of St. James North.
Dave, stop it again. Listen, are we going to finish this speech? Bear with me. He says 1-1 blow. Now, I was told by somebody very close to the Prime Minister that she has a saying that says 1-1 blow kills old cow.
Oh, that's an old Barbadian saying. She learned that from her uncle along with.
But it's something she tells them. She tells that to her party, and she says it, and look at him including it in the speech. I just wanted to say that. But go ahead.
Very sharp, very sharp.
Very sharp. Go ahead, Dave.
That matter owns you or any of the people of St. James North. So value your vote and put your X where it counts. Make sure the pencil doesn't touch the line. Felicia Dujon. And you will be guaranteed to have someone who will represent you. I repeat, that is what she has done. She does not have to pretend. So pick up your phone. Those WhatsApp chats, those group chats, get the message out there. Let people know we do not have to fear. They lose their power when we lose our fear. Spread the message.
We got to pause again. Mr. Murray, what are your thoughts on this? What is he doing? What part of the speech is he at now, Mr. Murray?
He's reaching the climax, the peroration, but he's repeating and reinforcing. You know, you always go back to the original content at the end of a speech to remember that the last thing you remember. He's doing it very well. I wish I could do it like him.
Yeah, I tell you, this part as well, Mr. Murray, is the call to action.
Of course.
This is the call to action part of it. He's telling them, first of all, make sure you vote properly. Don't let the X, whatever. And then he's also saying, get to your WhatsApp groups.
Spread the message.
It's a call, it's a direct call to action with steps of what you need to do. If you are you are in the constituency, you are listening, this is what you need to do. Yeah,
there's a classic presentation. Structured, organized, opening, you develop your middle, you come to a conclusion, you repeat to make sure and then you call, like you said, call to action. There's a classic example of how a speech should be delivered.
And Eugene, I agree with you. I saw that too. He paused after a very important topical point to let you digest it. It's breathing.
That's right. Yeah.
It's breathing. Go ahead. Go ahead, Dave. Thank you.
You may say it makes no difference. It will make a difference. Power when we lose our fear. Spread the message. Spread the word. Where you may say it makes no difference, it will make a difference. Because one way or the other, a message will be sent to the Barbados Labour Party. So come out and vote. Come out and vote St. James North. Come out and vote Reservoir Road. Come out and vote Ashton Hall. You have a clear choice before you. Someone who will represent you versus someone who will ensure more of the same. And Barbados, we cannot take more of the same. Our voice matters. Our vote matters. Our opinions matter. Our concerns matter. They are not our lords. There's one God in heaven above. They do not own us. The ones without pedigree. Your vote counts. You matter. Next Wednesday, May 21st, show out and vote for Felicia Dujon.
Felicia, yes, we voting. Felicia, we voting. We voting. We voting. We voting.
He's class. He's class.
Listen, folks. Listen. You need to, those of you who can edit, you need to edit this. Take it and break it apart and put it in smaller pieces. Put it on Instagram, right? All of you who are listening, right? He's done his part and we can help. I'm being told that it is being said, and Mr. Blackman can refute it, or his campaign manager, that they have spent so far, it seemed like approximately over 300,000 in that one constituency, right? And we know that they have all of this money that they're using, that they're spending, and the DLP's budget is way, nothing near that. So if you really want to see a change, help, we need everybody to go ahead, use CapCut, use whatever you edit, and take up pieces of it. Use voice notes from it, put it in the chat so St. James North people are. Send it throughout that constituency. Do the best that you can. Please, may everybody be able to do that. Mr. Murray.
I could not have said it better. Your call to action, he's laid the foundation. He's made a very clear, convincing, and coherent argument, which you can follow, I remember, and appreciate. He did not use any technical jargon, any gobbledygook, no buzzword like resilience and what's now, and biodiversity, nothing so. Clear, simple language that anybody can understand to present his argument. And that's why he's so effective. It's a pleasure to hear him. Like I said, I saw him in shorter spasms on TV, but this no way he's delivering a speech. It is very, very enlightening and very, very interesting.
And we must give credit to the leaders, the president, and those who are managing the campaign for Felicia Dujon to be able to see this in him and put him on. I think that too, that takes a lot of vision to be able to see that kind of, because he's sitting there on the panel, and I noticed him a couple times, but I noticed him very, very much the last time they had the thing. And you must give the campaign manager and the president and the political leader the kudos, because they spot him and said to him, we want you on. And in fact, they put him on again tonight. And I think that should be commended. But I think Mr. Dave, I heard that Verla de Pisa is up. So that was last night, fellow viewers. What we watched was Mr. Wickham making his
Dr. Wickham, you don't want to get mixed up with any other Wickhams in Barbados.
Dr. Wickham. I am sorry, Dr. Wickham making his debut as on the political stage. That was last night. and we're told he's on tonight. So, we're waiting up for him. But let's go to Mr. Pisa, if Dave could help us to get her on. I don't know if you're waiting on me to do that, Dave. I mean, she is from house to house. I can't believe she still has that energy, Mr. Murray.
Yes, she certainly has the energy. But I'm not sure how much you want me to say or what you want me to say on my view, but I'm wondering if she heard. Just let me put it this way: did she hear Dr. Wickham last night? She did not own the things that he attributed her. She should have taken credit for some things he mentioned. She talked about cybercrime and talked about rights, but I'm saying she's still too. She's full of fire and steam, but she needs to pull out the examples to show what do you mean by tyranny and fighting and how you right to speak and give. She needs those examples to illustrate
Examples of
what she
that,
said.
but she made a lot of examples though of what she's seeing
Okay.
in the constituency. So she talks about the coach, which I didn't know about that, but she spoke about that. She spoke about, and she's been speaking about the toilet issue, not
But
having indoor toilets,
I
not having indoor running water.
I would have loved if she were. I don't know the concept. If she said, I know of the concept. I don't know all that. I know some of it. If she would say, I know of the college, where? In which neighborhood?
No, she didn't say neighborhood. She mentioned the school. She
Which
mentioned the
school?
school.
Which school?
I didn't write it down, but she mentioned the school in
Okay.
in St. James North. She did do that, and she talked about the single
Oh,
mother
I don't
and
mean
single parents.
I'm not trying to put you on the spot to
Mhm.
defend her, but I'm
No,
saying
no. I'm just bringing balance,
to
Mr. Murray. Because I made notes, so I'm
listen to her
bringing balance.
I listen to her as a journalist,
Yes, that's
and
okay.
that's
Yeah.
right. And I'm saying that if I had to write a story of her, I would want detail, some examples and specifics. All I'm saying.
I understand that, Mr. Murray. So what I'm saying is that what I did for each speaker, I wrote down. I'm not trying to defend her. I just wrote down. I wrote down about 6 things that she mentioned that were details of what she's seeing in the constituency. Unless I'm not understanding what you're asking for, I just see it a little differently, and that's different. That's okay because I have it written down of the details of what she spoke on.
Oh, all right. You're hearing differently from me there, but you heard.
I
We
don't
heard
know
it
if
one way.
anybody else heard any details, but I was writing down the details.
What? If I might ask, what did you mean by detail? Did she say where the college was?
Yes, she actually. Can anybody remember the name of the school
No.
that she
Okay, go ahead.
that she said the college shows that it wasn't in a home. She spoke about the college at a particular school in St. James North.
All right, let's move on.
Okay. All right. Dave, let's get to the what do you have there? Oh, they're still playing the music. But yeah, go ahead.
Can we talk about some of the things the Prime Minister didn't talk about? We were supposed to pick that back up. I thought it was outstanding that she stayed clear of certain topics altogether. And when Veronica Pisa talked about the $300 and how hard people had to line up, I wondered how comes that people who got theirs by check or in the bank in the system were given to the INS. All right, other people who have to go on now were applying, or people who might not have applied but might not have paid anything into NIS, but it means that they were paying before, might not have paid the last year. So I'm saying that could have been. I was impressed that the NIS could get those checks out in time to coincide with the 14th for the by-election on the 21st. I admired how in the past they have not been very on time and efficient with getting ordinary people's benefits out. So So I can remember I called that from the time I called $200 the national bribe. So they fell in line. But you can't fall in line to prevent other people have to go and line up or spend hours in that regard. Mr. Dr. Wickham is talking, so I'll go.
Voting Felicia, cause Felicia, she is the one. Yes, we going with.
Right. Good. Your thoughts, Mr. Murray? Anything there that you want to comment on, or
On
and
the
to the viewers as well? I'm reading your comments.
yeah, I want to comment on the fact that you had a very powerful theme. Something changed, right? And he built that theme. But I also want to take credit for the show. Remember that the COVID, when the Electoral Boundaries Commission said that we could not vote, that we could not vote during the COVID in
Yes.
22nd campaign. Remember I raised that last time because the contradict between the two chairmen. How the first chairman said the law said it had, the law said that the law said that the electoral the voter register had to be put online,
Yes.
and the other one came and said no, it's not going online. So to me that when you combine that with the refusal to let people vote, I think that those are some backward steps. And I shared his outrage and his horror. But he's too young. I share it particularly because in 1951 I heard about the right to vote. I was at the election meeting in front of Graceville School with Grantley Adams. So I lived to see that happen. So anything that troubles that, I feel it as though it were my family then.
Yes.
But right. But he again, very good case he's put that suits his theme. Something has changed.
Something, yes, he kept repeating that, and that's a good sign of a speech. I mean, he was tonight. He did speak to the people in Sion Hill and in St. James North, but I felt that he did a more national. He was speaking more nationally at the beginning of his speech.
Right.
Yeah.
But another credible, not outstanding performance. I thought. I don't know if he would go from. He make a fine candidate whoever he goes to. He has all the basics.
Yeah,
Not only his speaking style, but his thinking and how he presents his case.
Yes. Well, I'm just reading the comments. The comments. People seem to really have enjoyed it. I want to ask everybody, what is one thing that you believe that you would take away from the speech? Everybody who is watching. I was just talking to somebody here from St. James North, and they're excited and watching the speeches and etc. and agreeing and disagreeing and all of that. And I said to them, "Are you going to vote?" That's the question I asked. I said, "Are you going to vote there?" I said, "Well, you could enjoy all the speeches. You can enjoy, everything. But if you're not going to vote, what's the point here? So that's a challenge I want to we're going to officially close the live. So I know Mr. Murray, it's after 10. But there are other speakers who are coming up to speak. There is the president of the Democratic Labour Party, which some people would like to hear, and there is also the leader of the opposition. But it's 10 after 10. But I still want to hear from people. What is that one thing about what this gentleman said, and to challenge those who are from St. James North to really ask them the question: Are you going to vote? Yes.
Are they saying why they will not vote? Are they giving any hints, any indication why they will not vote?
They said that they let me just read without giving away the person. Good question. They said I'm just trying. No, they said they don't know where to go to vote. They didn't receive any circular from either party.
They can call the Electoral Boundaries Commission give them the name, address, etc., and they will tell them where to vote.
So if you're listening, I'm not giving you away by not saying who you are. You can call the Electoral and Boundaries Commission, as Mr. Murray is telling you, and they will be able to tell you where to vote. And this person is saying that they have a number of persons in their family who are eligible to vote. But I think that you could listen, you could, but if you don't go out to vote, then really, what is the point? Yeah. Pedro is saying that he got to hear his reason why he thinks politics is not theater anymore. He said somebody said the question that he asked his children, what did they not say? Scully B says, listen to what the government not saying. That is what I focus on. Food for thought. Ibador said nothing. There was nothing for him that I guess that he thought was, and which is fine. I can't read everything here. Okay, I'm reminded that one must be mindful of what one does not say during their conversation or speeches. Okay, Dr. Wickham aligned government sentiment and issues with local issues. A vote for Felicia is a vote for representation. Yeah, okay. All right. Apart from Ivor, who said he got nothing, and that's the thing about this. We can vary in our views. He got nothing. That's fine.
That's democracy.
Huh?
That's democracy at work.
That's it. That's it. Yeah. And then somebody said that he articulated how things have changed. He's a diamond in the rough with lots of promise for the future. Okay. Well, this is where we officially end, but we are going to Mr. Murray because I know it's past 10:15. And unless you give me permission to keep you on here, I know you will continue listening.
Yes, I will. I just want to say something that's been on my mind. Last week in the House of Assembly, the government passed a bill, made some changes to the Student Revolving Loan Fund. And they made mention now that they're going to give back to school loans. Normally, Bajans will go to credit union or the bank, but now the government agency, Student Revolving Loan Fund, is going to back to school loans so that the people can go and get back to school loans to send their children to school. To me, that is a glaring admission. Now, normally most people would try to save money out of a disposable income to set aside to go to send their children back to school. You borrow, you might get a loan, but that they just didn't try at least to do it out of their own resources. I think the government is admitting that after 7 years, people have even less disposable income to save, to put aside, to help at least pay their way to school, and now they have to get a loan to put themselves into further debt. And that is a sure sign of further impoverishment. And that kind of system that we had is not something that the IMF smiles upon. I bet my life that the IMF encouraged them, therefore, to encourage people set up the system where you can get a back school loan so the government can make money out of the people rather than give the people proper conditions and salaries that they can pay for themselves or not. They're making it now a form of dependency on get to send your children back to school. When all the people want is more money, better conditions, more discipline, and can do things for themselves. But you're now entrenched in the system of back to school loans. I think it's a backward step.
Very much so. Very much. I actually didn't even hear that. So thank you for bringing that
Back
to
to
my
loans.
attention.
Yeah.
I didn't hear that at all. Someone who is in the St. James Knot just reported that they said Chad Blackman and Santia Bradshaw held an election campaign meeting just up from me with food, wine, and tent. And about 14 people turned up. They were giving food, wine, and tent. So you can imagine exactly where in St. James North they were. Okay, so try to put your thinking caps on. That's how I would interpret it. And only 14 people turned up. Interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
Very interesting.
I wonder who were invited.
Because when you're
Who?
talking about food, wine, and a tent, so it's a certain caliber of persons.
Maybe the people from the villages thought that was not their environment, or maybe the people from the tent, wine, natural environment were not relating to it. They don't want to get involved. Could work either way, you know.
Very
But
interesting.
yeah, but
Interesting.
that is a standard move by the Barbados Labour Party, where they always seek to uh, do something for the well-to-do in the neighborhood, treat them differently. They're not necessarily expected to come to the meetings, so you go to them, take the candidate and fraternize with them, friends, in that kind of rarefied atmosphere. So I can see it happen. That's part of
Yeah.
the course.
Yes.
I've seen many of them happen in the past.
Yes. Yes. Well, one of the things that I really love tonight, when we were going through Dr. Wickham's speech, one of the things I realized, and I just want to just leave this as my final thought here, is the fact that we have not heard the breaking down of Chad's CV.
Right.
We have not heard that from the campaign, the DLP campaign. That's something that's going. We have not showed the people why he is not the best candidate.
Okay.
I feel like we have not yet done that.
Okay.
I think what's her name, Verla and Mr. Wickham, and to some extent Ryan last night, etc., and a couple of the others. They
Right.
have laid the case for Miss DeJohn and saying, okay, but they have not yet go through to say why he's not capable. That's interesting.
Apart from his CV, his tenure. How can a man who was technically Minister of Education, resign, go into campaign, talks about tech hubs and farming and all kind of things, which are useful, interesting thing, and makes no work. He has not said yet, as far as I have heard, and I haven't read, he's not said yet what he did in education transformation, what he would like to resume, what he would like to do if he gets it back. The Prime Minister said, I think Friday night, Thursday night, that she will reappoint, she looks for a reappointment. So therefore, his track record as Minister of Education has not been called into question. The bleeps and blunders about with the schools, the appointment of teachers, there have been a number of mishaps again in his school that he has not been called to account for. He was given a free run education. I think he should be prosecuted on his tenure so far because he was due to taxpayers' money. And what he has not yet explain what he means by educational transformation. That can mean anything. What? How? How soon? When will it start? Nothing. And I think he's getting a free run, and that he should. And not only that, what does it mean to St. James schools? What will happen to the schools? You're talking about amalgamated. I think he has to be prosecuted in St. James about education matters as past and future minister, and more likely, and Minister of Education if he wins the seat. I don't think he should be allowed. I think so. I think that needs to be done too.
And I think the point I was making, though, is not even so much from the BLP standpoint. I think that the DLP in their speeches, one of the things you have to do is to be able to dress down the candidate,
Of course.
and peg them down. And that's something I was noting tonight. that we haven't heard it yet. I don't know what Mr. Thorne is going to come with and what the president is going to come with. But if they're listening, I think that is something that they can do to begin. In Jamaica, we say dress them down then. And so, yeah.
And Barbara said, we say take off their clothes.
Take off their clothes
or undress them. Undress them. Right. But I said that last Sunday, Marcia.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I'm not kidding. It is an obvious area of neglect in the debate that he's not being made to answer for it. Rather than talking about the past or he's talking about the future. You must have a past before you have a future.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm hoping from the GLP that they will begin to undress him and to show what that Felicia will give better representation. And I think,
but with all due respect, Felicia has to do some of that undressing too. Their opponents, man for woman, head to head, toe to toe. That's how you should take her on. She's an educator, he's an educator. Let us lock horns at education in St. James North. That's what you do. Bring it home.
Yes.
All right.